It's going.
Oh, it's going?
Yeah, just look at the clock.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fixing my hat. Hello, guys, and welcome to Weekly Shonen Jump Review. This is Fonzy.
And this is Hero.
And we're actually doing something a little different today. Instead of doing a pretty much page-by-page analysis that usually just...
we're just going to discuss each manga as a whole. Like, just discuss what we like, what we don't like, what we thought was awesome, what we thought was stupid.
What we thought was a turn-on.
And what was a turn off.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I kept getting an erection during Toriko. Everybody's shirts are getting ripped off.
Giggity.
No homo.
Anyways, that's actually the first one we're going to start with. And as we left off before, a new guy by the name of Joey or something. I still haven't been able to figure out the translation for that or how to pronounce it properly. But at this point, this guy actually goes uber powerful at everybody, using a super technique against Setsuno.
Like he was the only one who did.
So already, and he had that capture beast that, turned into a flying platform. But then, all of a sudden, he uses this new power and shoves the kitchen knife, Cinderella, into the ground, and then reanimates all the nitros that Zebra killed. So, effort wasted.
Tensai.
The Edo Tensai. We're jumping from series to series here. But, really? It gives a little bit of information at the first part where it seems that Akashi's chef is actually this person. The one who owned Cinderella at the first point. I'm not sure who this Joey person is. But really, this knife is overpowered. I mean, Komatsu's sword is made out of the sharpest steel in the world, being made from a capture beast. But that thing only has the ability to emit giant craters. This one just has a bunch of powers in it. So, holy crap. But, being the kitchen knife for the god, I would think that's appropriate.
But this is my major complaint about this series, is that everything's too over the top. It's like, how can you get even more over the top than that?
I don't know, pro wrestling's over the top, but everybody keeps buying tickets for it.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's like, if you want me to take this series seriously, I understand if this is all complete joke, but we're not supposed to take this as a joke.
Well, then you have to go back to the over top thing. Everything in Naruto's over the top. Everything in Bleach is over.
Not everything.
Everything in One Piece is over the top.
Yeah, everything in One Piece is over the top because...
Yeah, but that's because Ichiro Oda is on a consistent diet of crack and heroin.
But he does it in a clever way. He doesn't do, super ultra mega powerful! He does it in a clever way.
Okay, I will admit that he did that with Oz at the Thriller Bark saga, and that was actually...
The problem with Toriko is that everything is super ultra mega chocolatey fudge powerful.
Sounds tasty.
I'd
like to eat that attack. I'd eat that attack. But,
we know Goku one. Does it taste good?
I'm surrounded by idiots. But the best part about this chapter is that it reintroduces probably one of the coolest characters, that being Knocking Master Juro.
Yeah, with his what's his name from Yu Yu Hakusho?
Kuwabara hairstyle.
Yeah, Kuwabara hairstyle.
It's called a pompadour.
Okay, it's this pompadour style. Like I guess for some reason in one Japanese era that was like the hairstyle.
I could probably see that because a lot.
Just like how the mullets and the afros, were the hairstyles back in the 70s and 80s.
Dude, one of the running jokes at Bobobo was that one of the more powerful guys was known as Captain Battleship. He had the most outrageous pompadour in the entire universe. I'm serious. He even shot out Miss Missile out of it. I don't know how, but he did. And another character from Beelzebub, which isn't a shonen manga, but it's one of the more popular ones.
Beelzebub's a shonen manga?
Well, it's not in the Weekly Shonen Jump.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever. Stop talking.
The character Himikawa has a pompadour, and right now everybody hates him right now because he just pulled a fuck you move to Oga by making Beelzebub disappear. So the pompadour look is fine, whatever, but Jiro's one of the more fun ones because Kometsu and Toriko met him in like the third book, I believe, or the second book. And at that point, he was just like this scrawny old man looking for a drink. And, everybody mistreated him except for Komatsu and Toriko. And then they find out, oh, hey, that's Knocking Master Juro, the one responsible for all the technology of subduing capture beasts. So, bad move on some of the other gourmet hunters' parts.
But yeah, like, is that pretty much it about Toriko? Like,
Well,
just over super powerful moves.
Well, other than that, the first part is a 2-page spread that shows a little bit of a preview of the first Toriko movie that's going to be out. And I guess it has Shanks on it because it shows a guy at the bottom left whose red hair has a mustache and all he needs is, the tricloth scar on the side of his face.
And Luffy's straw hat.
And tan. Can't forget about that. Then the next one we head straight to is One Piece.
Speaking of that.
Oh my god. So much shit goes down in this particular combat. This gladiator match. Just the first two. I mean, the first one being Jose Burgess's triumphant return into the series, and him as an old man. He's like gray hair now, when he used to have purple. So that color change. And then, of course, Bartholomew just obliterating everybody due to reflecting back the King's punch. So, already that, and for the fact that I really want to know what Bartholomew has against
Luffy.
I really want to know because I have no idea. I've looked back, and there is no character who is either recognizable with him or looks anything like him or has made reference to him at all. He's a green-haired psychopath who has fangs out of his face, wears a purple coat, and uses the barrier.
Has green hair like the Joker.
You made this reference before.
Yeah, I know.
But this next match, holy crap! Now we're getting like the old man who tried to take on Luffy before because he was the former leader of the gangster group, and Garp captured him. He has the vendetta against Luffy now because now that the new generation is up, him and his grandchildren are after him. And not only that, but we also have a boxer who has explosive punches and is one of those weird formed people again, like the tri-limbed people that Scratchman Oppo is a part of, and that long-legged Blue Gammy from the previous match. This guy's got like outrageous shoulders, like coming out of it. He looks like freaking Space Godzilla. But he literally punches the giant that Luffy leveled out of the ring. And then we have the Bandit. I love this guy. At first, I think he's got to have like some stereotypical power to Mexicans because he's got a sombrero with a cactus on it. But it turns out that Gene the Bandit actually collects weapons and then throws them back at high speeds. And I like how he actually made reference to the fact where somebody was talking down to him while he was fighting, and it seems like this person knew him and complained about, oh, well, you put my partner in prison, so I'm coming back after revenge to you. And he actually makes reference to Luffy by saying, oh, well, if you cared about your partner so much, why didn't you go and break him out of prison? Like a crazy guy I knew 2 years ago. So I actually like that. So that proves that at least Gene has a little bit of a personality instead of just, like an interesting type of attack. And then there are these mafia brothers. They're called the Funk Brothers. They probably smell horrible.
Brothers of the Funk.
70s reference. But this is kind of weird because one of them is a boxer and the other one seems to be like impenetrable. Like he's this big hulking man. But then after the boxer gets taken down by one of the gangsters, he asks to have something put on him, and in the next panel, it shows him completely obliterating the gangster that previously took him down, and it seems that he actually is now grown in size, and he now has the same hat that his brother was wearing. So the hat may actually be that kind of power. And at the last part, Jean actually steals Luffy's helmet, and because of, revealing that he doesn't want to be shown a straw hat yet, he actually ties a scarf around him, like keeping the hat down, and so that Jean doesn't steal the hat as well. And that's pretty much where it ends, and this fight, I can't wait to see what happens next in that. Oh yeah, and then... Oh, God. You know what? I just love this new series, Jocko.
Yeah, so this is my turn now. So, yeah, we get back to Jocko and, what was his name? Omo... it was...
Omashi?
No, let me try to find where he says his name.
We're not good with remembering names unless...
Omori.
Omori's.
Yeah, so Jocko tells him that, to fix his ship, and
that he's all... You forgot to tell him, has that button ever gone off on accident? It's happened once.
Yeah, and so he tells him to take his ship to his shed, which is just a... It was not really a shed, it's a...
Just asked him really to put it over there, and this is just an excuse for Jocko just to literally lift up the ship.
Like Goku. But then the big bad government comes in
to ruin
his fun.
I love the name of that already, the government police. How likable is that title?
Oh yeah, everyone's gonna feel so welcome.
Just slap on the IRS at the end, so make it the government police of the IRS, and you are the most hated individual on the planet.
And oddly enough, the guy in charge looks like Gohan.
Yeah, like future Gohan in the GT series. Oh wait, I just quoted GT. Crap. But yeah, this guy is basically his personality fits the title so well.
Yeah, like so stiffy, going like, I'm here to ruin your fun.
Basically, and he's not blunt. He's just straight up blunt about it. He just says, "You get off the island now.
You get off the island, or we're gonna sick the IRS on you." Pretty much.
Or take him by force. Take the man who's actually made contributions to the scientific community. Force him off his home where his wife is laid to rest. And don't even bat an eyelash. Jesus Christ.
That really does sound like the IRS. So they just freaking leave. And
it sounds more like the repo people. We know this is the house that you've been paying your mortgage on, but you missed a payment, twice. So bye.
And then the government guy notices Jocko. He's just like, who the fuck is that? And Jocko, comes back down and throws a rock and destroys the ship.
What purpose does he have for this reason? Just because he doesn't like the guy.
Yeah, like he's just, like
lobs it like a baseball.
Yep. Like this is what Goku as a kid would do. Grab a rock, throw it, and at like Mach speed hits the boat, which at first it looks like it didn't do anything. But by the end of the chapter, their ship is sinking and they're on a life raft.
Yeah, but Goku's done a lot of more metaphysical things than that. I mean, just the episode that I remember the most, his enemy was a bunny or a rabbit who can turn people into carrots, and how he punishes them is that he literally extends his power pole so far up and takes the two goons and the rabbits and puts them on the moon and forces them to make those peeps, those like marshmallow rabbits. He puts them on the moon. Wait, and this actually is part of that argument where, wait, didn't Master Roshi blow up the moon in the first World Tournament?
He blew up the moon in that one, and then Piccolo blows up the moon. It's like, what, does the moon have regeneration powers?
Yeah, but I'm afraid that rabbit just got his ass shot into space. Like, where is he now? Is he just like Ginyu, where we'll never know what actually happened to these people?
I guess so. But Omori also brings up the time machine that he's also been trying to fix.
Which is illegal.
Yeah, I guess so. He's on his own private island, so no one cares.
And he's already been successful at controlling part of time, like slowing it down. That's also illegal.
But well, how's it illegal if no one's ever actually made a time machine?
Well, it's like that precaution thing, I guess, that like the super elites made up. Like, if you go in time and try and change something. I mean, you should know this. You already watched the Flashpoint movie. Changing one thing in time actually
He changes everything.
Even if it's for the better or for the worse. Changing time is forbidden for everybody, I guess, in this one. So,
but and Omori, the reason why he's trying to fix the time machine is that he wants to go back in time to prevent the accident.
Yep, save his wife, save his assistants, keep the tragedy from ever unfolding.
And how does Jocko react? Good luck with that!
Yeah, good luck with that, and good luck fixing my time machine. You have a week before those assholes come back.
Fix your shit, you little shit! And we see at the end,
the government police are in their safety raft.
Wah, wah, wah.
You know what? Being lost out at sea is too good for them.
Yeah. And now we get to World Trigger, which is your part.
Better. It's getting better. Now,
people actually have emotions?
Yes. like we've said before, that this series has like no artwork to the characters' emotions, but it's getting better along the way, and the story's actually getting more interesting. And I'll admit, there's two parts I like about this: a good part and a bad part. The good part I like about this is that, it's basically, character development. It's between Osamu and, I guess, the model, the guy supermodel who has, like, no expressions whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even doesn't try and show sadness or shock or anger. And then it's, Yuma and the erratic blonde girl, and of course there's Chica and the drill sergeant. I like how they play off each other a little bit because the drill sergeant.
He doesn't even act like a real drill sergeant.
Well, he's more like the soldier type. He's the one who gives you the mission stats. He tells you what to do. You listen to him.
Oh, but wouldn't it be funny if he went all drill sergeant,
Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. Exactly 3 fucking seconds. Want that stupid looking grin off your face, or I'll gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you.
We now have to edit this video, don't we? But you know what?
Chica, how tall are you? 4 feet. 4 feet. 4 feet. I didn't know they could stack shit that high.
No. Come on, that's Chica, the innocent little girl who doesn't stop smiling. To get back to that, Chica actually shows off that she's got a whole lot more Tryon than people thought, that Reiji thought that she had. And she's just been shooting at these targets all friggin' day long, where you thought, oh, this is going to end in probably 2 or 3 hours. Nope, she's
still going.
And she seems to be really good at it.
When they're snipers, don't they need like a little bit of it, or do they need a lot in order for it
They need a little bit, which is why that they could last longer. Like you said, 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
Whereas the ones that, have like swords or actual like close combat weapons take more time, and like some of those abilities, like the ones that Hideaki used.
Mm-hmm.
When he used those abilities, it took more trying to do, but that's because he was also A rank.
Mm-hmm.
And A rank trains, I guess, in Tryon, like leveling out, like putting more into this than this, like you could put more into these advanced techniques than you do in less of these combat abilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of like that. For Chica, she's just a sniper. She just shoots things.
Right.
The other part I didn't really like about this is that there wasn't a whole lot of focus on what happened during the training. Chica's was to show showing Chica as being awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really show Usamu or Yuma being awesome, even though we wanted to see, the combat between, the blonde girl and Yuma, because they were both just talking down to each other, like, I'll show you respect if you beat me. All right, fine.
Basically just talking trash to each other.
Yeah, and it was funny, and I really wanted to see what they were capable of doing.
And when Yuma won, his hair's all buzzed out.
It's weird. What the hell happened? Did they start throwing fireballs instead of using trigger swords? And at the end, it, gives like the setting for the next one, because it seems that the top ranked team just returned from the neighbor's dimension, and we're gonna see what the big guys are like.
And their ship, looks like one of the neighbors.
Yeah, well, I would think that would be like some sort of like covert, like trying to get in real sneaking, like, and trying to make it look like it's camouflaged or something.
Right. But you expect someone go, that doesn't look right.
You know what? This is the Neighbors universe where you have giant flying fish monsters. I'm not sure that...
Why is one of our fish monsters suddenly made of metal?
You know what? Just go with it. Then Naruto. Oh boy.
Obito is just...
Not Obito anymore. He's just a rampaging monster now.
Just giving them the silent treatment.
Yeah, and now he's got like the like before he gained the power of the Biju. So now he's the Jinchuruki. So now he's got the Biju inside him. A new power it seems that he's got is like these black chakra spheres, and through the palms of his hands. And I'm gonna make this reference right now, being very Jesus Christ-like.
Yeah, I know. That's why I caught. I'm like, oh, you kidding me?
It's kind of a weird design because it kind of looks like this. It turns into like a disc at the bottom of his palm, but then it starts jutting out a spike through his palm and up through his hand. And I'm not sure like how this is combat used. I could see, like if he started, like creating a barrier with it, but how do you slice something with that?
Right, I don't know, but
maybe it's like that gravity sort of thing, like pushes it so far. It's kind of like how oh god, who was it? In Tiger and Bunny, the guy who used the shields.
The Jack.
Yeah, it was Jack, and I can't remember him, but he used his abilities to like fray the wall before he got out of prison. Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez.
Jake Martinez.
Yeah, Jake Martinez. Where
he frayed the wall around, like creating kind of a cool mural, but like he had shield power, so I guess he used it to like make small indents in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty much how this is used, because it just keeps using with different shapes. I mean, the third Hokage's shoulder gets blown off by one of them when he extends that very...
almost like a ram or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just blowing everybody away.
Oh my!
Boy, no wonder I get excited through these manga.
But
Rico, you've been replaced. Obito's blowing people. Blowing all the Hokages. He's got 4 to go.
And everyone else just standing there going like, should we do something? I don't know. Should we do something?
I don't know. Obito's giving blowjobs to everyone.
Should we get involved?
I know Naruto wants to. I'm not sure if Sasuke can get it up. But, aside from theoretical blowjobs, everybody starts getting serious now because it seems that Madara has now entered the battle. So this is now to the point where the Super Ninja and the Ultimate Jinchuruki are now in the same battlefield.
Yeah, this is not gonna be fun.
No, and Naruto actually goes back into his Sixth Sage mode for a little while. It happens later on.
Oh yeah, it happens later on.
And somehow or another, I guess that Obito ended up swallowing a bomb of the second Hokage's, and it just kind of looks funny because he kind of looks like Luffy after using the Gum Gum balloon.
Yeah,
and he just like has this giant outstretched tummy. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like, should we take that seriously?
Well, I mean, it does stop him for a little while, and this is unique. The fourth Hokage pulls out 6 of those special kunai that he uses for his
teleportation jutsu.
And what he's going to do with that, but however, it seems that Obito's ready for another attack.
Okay, how much you want to bet that one of them is going to go inside Obito? He's going to teleport into his body and blow him up from the inside.
If he could get that shuriken in there for some... How he's actually going to get that thing in there, because... They
open wide!
Well, I was going to think...
It's a piece of candy!
I don't know, we were already on the sexual basis, so I was thinking bend over, Obito.
or he'll go like, open wide! What is it? It's candy! Okay!
Your fan's delight.
Yuri?
Oh, sorry, Yaoi. I get those confused a lot.
That's a bad confusion to make.
I don't know. I have Yuri on the mind right now.
But
Yuri from Command and Conquer.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like the artwork starts to get a little bit confusing. Where like
because Obito's like weird form due to the explosion in his stomach almost makes him look like he's a part of the terrain. So it's kind of hard to see where he's actually is.
Yeah, this is where I think maybe a little too much detail in the background is kind of a bad thing.
That only works with One Piece.
Yeah, that only works with One Piece because the characters are so cartoony as it is.
So you could tell them apart from the terrain completely.
Yeah. Whereas in this, like, there's so much debris, you just can't tell where everybody is. Maybe some screen tones, would work nicely.
Yeah, it just seems all white with black lines, so there's not really what you could tell.
We see in the far background it's nighttime, so maybe screen tone the earth, sort of create like a shadow, but don't screen tone everybody else. Like, okay, now we see where everybody is.
Yeah, the moon still gives off light, so there are shadows.
So yeah, like I guess they're now battling silly putty Obito.
And it still seems that the Susanoo isn't a match for it. It just literally gets the hand of the Susanoo blown completely off. And this is where Sasuke makes an interesting. I don't know. It's an interesting bit of dialogue. I'm not sure what he actually means by it.
Okay, I think I sent you a text where I think I actually get it. Because, you remember when Obito was Toby,
Mm-hmm.
he was telling him the truth about his brother, about Itachi.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up the definition sever, and sever means like to tear apart. So basically, he's saying that like the only person who can tear up the past is him. Where I guess he's sort of making a reference to him when he's been lying to him about Itachi.
I guess that could be used, but I'm seeing from the way he says that, it almost seems very dark. Like there's more to what Sasuke wants to actually do.
But from my perspective, I think it's a little bit too, what's the word? Pretentious. He's just saying it to be pretentious. The only one who's going to sever the past is me. Just to be all Shakespearean.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll say many times that the scans that I used to read definitely do have a lot of those much bigger words, much more complex used words. And I think that Japan uses them a lot more than we do. I mean, we make so much shortened versions of words and a lot more slang than Japan has. That I think that they stick with original, like the original continuity with words. I mean, you won't see. I don't think you'll see the word "dang" in manga a lot. I always see "damn" or "darn it."
Well, the thing is, I think it depends on who's translating, because I think with Shonen Jump US, they don't really use swear words a lot. Where like I think they try to be a little bit more kid friendly. Like if in Japanese they say crab, they don't want to translate it to say shit. But if it translates shit, then they want to translate it to crap.
Yeah,
because they do know that preteens are reading this. We sort of have a different standard than in the U.S. than they do in Japan.
Well, I mean, aside from that,
and now we get to One Punch Man, which I think that's mostly you, because I did not read this one.
Okay, yeah. After Andrew's dislike of the previous chapter, which was an entire 2-page spread with only one word bubble of dialogue from Genos, this is when another S-rank hero comes in, and it's basically a giant war robot, and we get this full color again. So the artist does a great job at showing reflections off of the steel.
It's really impressive.
And it's basically a big battle of who could destroy it. First, the giant robot takes it on with a giant missile barrage. Then Genos goes in for the all-out attack, all or nothing. So he literally grabs the core out of his chest, puts it into his arm, and then uses that energy to make the arm blast that much more powerful.
Right, to sort of boost to the meteor.
Yeah, but it does. Both these things don't do jack, and then out of nowhere, Saitama shows up in the background.
Stand back, fools!
Yeah, struts his normal stuff. And proceeds to jump, and this is jump. He doesn't know how to fly. He jumps up and smashes the meteor with as you would predict, one punch.
Because it's One Punch Man.
Now here's the thing, though. I'm familiar with this one already. He doesn't destroy the meteor completely, because as he actually breaks through the meteor, he doesn't obliterate it.
Right. There's still going to be lots of debris coming down.
And we get a shot of that. We get a shot of all of the remaining debris falling onto the city. And it looks worse than the giant comet. It looks like a rain of fires just bombarding the city.
To all people who were complaining about Man of Steel destruction, you have nothing to complain about in this, because you have nothing to complain.
Yeah, just part of your city.
Oh, Superman killed all those people. Saitama killed all those people. It wasn't Superman that killed all those people. It was Zod. But in this one, it really is Saitama.
Yeah, and I love this. At the very end, where Saitama comes to the ground, it's basically just showing him like getting up after his gigantic jump, he looks at the city and
Well, that's settled.
yeah, and just the blank stare, like, okay, we're done. End of chapter.
And now we get to Nisekoi. This was a weird one.
I'll admit, when I first saw this, I was dead set on finding out because I gotta say, Shu is now one of my favorite characters in manga because he's just so entertaining. I gotta love his cat face.
Why isn't he the main character?
Because he's the comedy relief, the complete comedy relief. He is Beast Boy.
Yeah, but the whole point of this chapter was to find out who he is he has a crush on. And we keep getting hints that it's what's her name, the bodyguard girl.
Seishiro?
Yeah, Shishiro. It keeps hinting that it's her, but we find out in the end it was the sexy teacher.
Yeah, and then at the end of the chapter, we also find out that she's getting married.
Which you do kind of feel bad for him. That it's kind of a heartbreak for him.
Yeah, but he doesn't even look like it fazed him at all. It just looks like, well, that happened.
Well, yeah, but it's sort of like, but if you think about it, probably deep down, he's really hurt by it. Deep down.
Well, yeah, I mean, Shu's been able to just knock everything off. He is, like, innocently hit on, everybody, Kosaki.
Oh, he might be hurt by it for, like, 5 minutes, but then he'll get over it.
Yeah, because he seems like more like that, like, upbeat character that doesn't really let those kind of things face him because...
Well, the thing is, if you look at the panel, right after... we look at the panel where she says, like, this is the last month I'm teaching here, you kind of see his face, like
that frozen in time sort of look.
Yeah, it's like, for that split second, he was,
yeah,
fuck!
And, crushes go like that, after having those feelings for someone for a long time, then all of a sudden,
But in the very last panel, when you just see his back, it just kind of resembles that, like, you may not see it, but
he's feeling it.
Yeah, he's not happy about it.
This was a sad chapter, and this was after the funny ending of the last chapter, having Paula not knowing how to swim. Funny.
Wah, wah, wah.
Boy, that chapter really got me wet.
Oh my god.
Now, this one I want to talk about.
Okay,
because
Bleach.
now we're on to Bleach.
Because this is the chapter before...
let me say it, bitch.
Fine.
After Koiraku literally gave out a nice little idea for everybody to think about, is that you have to say goodbye to Ichigo. And he's saying this to Keigo and to everyone else.
And this was the big cliffhanger. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, and here's the deal. It turns out that Koiraku is actually afraid of Ichigo's power, because depending on what his training is going to create, I mean, he has 2 Zanpakuto now, so who knows what the hell he's going to be doing with those blades.
Mm-hmm.
He fears that Ichigo's power may be something that is even far above Aizen's, that will actually create distortions or cause the balance in the human world.
And this just hit me that, like, the growth of Ichigo is that, look at when he first started. His blade was freaking huge.
Yeah, it was weird, because the conclusion was that blade was overpowered due to the fact that Ichigo didn't know how to suppress his power. He didn't know how to focus it, so it just went all into the Zanpakuto.
Right, but then his second Zanpakuto was like a regular katana, and now he's just got.
How was a giant butcher knife a regular katana? It remained in Shikai mode for the rest of its time. Mm-hmm. That's like it was its first stage. Then in the Bankai form, he had the black regular sword.
Yeah.
And then in the newer one, it turned into a giant buster sword. And it kind of remained as a katana in the Bankai state, but it had like these jagged shapes to make it look a little bit cooler.
Mm-hmm.
But then now he's got the 2 blades.
Yeah, so it's almost like it just keeps getting smaller. Ah!
Wow.
You too.
Aside from Ichigo shrinking dong,
I could not let that pass.
we just got through all of the sex in Naruto, and now we're on small dongs and Bleach.
Everything's a sex joke. Everything's a sex joke, Joe.
You have to go and die now. Die.
You can't kill me. I'm Superman.
Anyways, we find out that Koiraku is actually allowing Kego and the others to go to Soul Society whenever they want. He literally just gave them free passes to the world of the dead. So, awesome. But the fact is that he's afraid that Ichigo might not return because of that power. And that's a pretty interesting idea. The only other thing about this chapter is that after all of that discussion, we then go back to Hekido Mundo where Orihime and Chad are, and she's just thinking about how they're going to all reunite again. It's pretty much like after the Soul Society arc, after the Aizen arc, and it turns out they're training there. So
this is pretty much like what happened in that One Piece 2-year time skip.
Kinda, and well, yeah, this one's kind of misplaced, ironically, because the training with Bleach had always happened right after a huge defeat.
Mm-hmm.
It happened with Ichigo being defeated by Byakuya and had his sword cut in half, so he trained with Urahara to gain his Shikai form. And then afterwards, as Ichigo fought Zaraki, Yoriichi trained him in Bankai because he was not ready to take on Byakuya yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a miracle that he even beat Kenpachi in the first place. And then this was kind of weird because there was really no defeat per se. When the Vizard came after the Soul Society arc, the Vizard, they train Ichigo on his hollow powers because this is where we find out where the hollow powers came from.
Mm-hmm.
Then the last part of Ichigo's training that was involved was being able to control his Zanpakuto and learn the final technique of Zangetsu's.
But this whole training with everyone else is sort of like, they know shit's going down, so they really have to be prepared. They can't lose, train again, and then win the day. They gotta get this right the first time.
Well, here's the deal, because before, some of the Espada and some of the other captains during the previous arcs were strong enough to take on some of them. Like Uryu defeated Mayoria, but Chad lost against Koiraku. And it took Renji and Uryu, who were plenty strong to begin with, and they couldn't even defeat Grants, one of the Espada. They couldn't even defeat one of them. When it came down to this one, it's more of it's like finally making everybody available for fighting, because before, and this has rudimentary happened consecutively to Chad, he gets this awesome power. He gets the Giant's Hand, as we used to call it, and he uses that power so much, blowing away Soul Reapers and trying to rescue Rukia, but he's easily defeated by Koiraku without Koiraku even having to use Shikai on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he...
Does his power ever develop? But does he ever get it on both arms?
Yes,
he
does.
Or get some sort of armory?
In the Hekido Mundo arc, he gains a new form for his Giant's Hand, which looks like basically a giant shield and was actually made for more defending than attacking. Then he gets a left arm. This left arm is the left arm of the devil, which gives him his ultimate attack, which he used to punch. And if he punches somebody near like an area, like on the ground or on a wall, it automatically imprints a giant skull with frayed tentacles out of it, like a design, like
Hydra.
like it's the punch of the devil, which was awesome because he took out a former Espada, but then he lost quickly to Notoria, the guy that Kenpachi had a problem with. In this case, it seems like everybody is preparing for battle because that this is the final arc, but there's also a reason for this now. From whatever Urahara came across in Hekido Mundo, is signification to this last part. As we actually look at Soul Society, a big 2-page spread of it, it disappears instantly. And then we get to, and then in the place of that is in Hekido Mundo, where the Quincy's base is.
Mm-hmm.
And Haschwald ends up giving us a new part to the revelation of the king. And at first we thought, it took... I'm sorry, I gotta repeat this. It's kind of hard to remember. That in the Quincy legend, the king regains his pulse after 900 years, his mind after 90 years, his strength after 9 years. But it turns out there's one other part.
9 days.
The 9 days of the end of the world. Yeah. And also to reinforce everybody needs to train, the first Quincy Stern Ritter that the group runs into, which is Chad, it is Orihime, it is Uryu, it is Ichigo, they all lose to one Stern Ritter. And you saw that room full of them.
Oh, yeah.
There's tons of them. And unlike the Espada or the captains, there's a much wider range of letters, and the letters can be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
So as it turns out, that there's probably a lot more to the guys like Bazby, G95, and all the other people, especially the people who stole the Bankais of already the captains already.
Uh-huh.
So it's like showing, you guys are really weak. You need to train.
Yeah.
If you lost to one Stern Ritter, you're going up against an army of them.
Yeah,
you're not going to last.
Yeah, there's no way in hell.
and the reason why Koiraku has an eye patch is because one Stern Ritter shot him in the eye.
Yeah.
And that was just one in order to almost mortally wound him. But now here's the part I wanted to talk about. Because this is the last arc, we actually get a note from Taikubo, and it's saying that he will be taking a 1-month hiatus for a lot of R&R, so that that everything is in order for this last arc. So basically, we're not going to be getting any Bleach chapters for
a month.
Yeah, and we're going to be waiting back until September for the Bleach chapters to come out. So there won't be a lot of coverage on that for a while. But I have a lot of faith in this because there are so many things that we're going to be looking forward to. Kenpachi Shikai, Komomora's training with his elder. Seeing if Grimjo is actually the person in Hekido Mundo who helped the group, for the love of God.
It better be.
I want him to be bald. That's gonna be a screw you to the fans. But there's just gonna be so much, and this is Taikubo's last chance to answer any questions, to make anything that he had during the entire series known now. Before it ends up literally like the Dragon Ball Z thing. Like, where is Ginyu? We never know. Even though he's not important anymore, the fact is, we don't know where he went. He wasn't in the underworld, so we don't want that to happen in this one.
Maybe he's in hell.
But they never showed him in hell. Only the 4 members were in hell. They show that they had died.
Oh, okay.
And
he's
even
a frog on Earth.
Well, the Earth has blown up so many times. How come he didn't die?
They brought him back.
Whatever.
Everybody who's died.
Anyway, since this is one of the big three, I really want to see that there's no more questions to ask, no more loopholes, no nothing.
Mm-hmm. And Naruto's going to be going through possibly one more arc before the final one. One Piece? No, it's never going to end.
Yeah.
It never will.
Ichiro Oda will not die. They're going to keep him frozen like Walt Disney and just have him constantly keep sending brainwave messages via computer.
and he's just going to draw by computer.
This character must be in the shape of a square. And now, here's Yu-Gi-Oh's Exile. Now, from the start, I'm already going to say this. I'm not a big fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh mangas at all because...
but I'm a huge fan of the GX manga. I really like the GX manga.
Well, there are some parts that I do like, some I don't. The first part, it was that the original... manga for not the Zero series, but the afterwards, the actual Duel Monsters series.
Mm-hmm.
I hated the concept that it was tables. When I read the manga,
yeah.
I hated that table concept. I was kind of blown away as a kid by the huge like virtual stages that they fought on.
That's what. Are you talking about the one like when Yami and Abakura?
Oh, no, not that one. The virtual stages that was in Duelist Kingdom. Because...
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they were huge. They were big, and it was kind of like, why would you do all of this for a card game? And it was just
even
kind
the
of
Bridge
cool.
series brings that up.
It was cool as a kid to see that kind of stuff. Like, wow, card games are so big that they actually make these giant holographic
monsters
for them. And... when I saw the tables in the original manga, I thought, like, this is supposed to be exciting? This is supposed to be gigantic and big and fun? Like, no, this isn't. But more to the point of why I don't like it, there's a whole lot of continuity issues with this. I mean, aside from the other ones, the Zexal is the biggest felon out of all of these.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of tradition now for Yu-Gi-Oh manga to have nothing to do with the anime. Like, the manga is its own thing. Because probably the only one is the original one where it was the manga first, then the anime, but the rest of them, GX, 5Ds, and Zexal, they were anime first, then the manga.
Yeah, well... I mean, I don't mind them going off the beaten path. I'm just talking about how can you just suddenly break the rules? Okay, I get it. The whole, like, the shadow games,
Mm-hmm.
Where your monsters can be forms of your memory. So if you lose a monster, you lose a piece of your memory. Or, like, if a monster gets
where
destroyed,
the stakes are higher now.
Yeah, but in this one... it's actually different because it's like breaking the rules constantly. Like, there are people interfering with duels, suddenly summoning monsters wherever the hell you please.
Right.
And there's no real rational explanation for it.
Maybe that's kind of the point of a shadow game. Is that, like, it's beyond the the rules of the game.
Well, I mean, even if it's beyond the rules, at least explain it a little bit. Like, like the duel that's in right now, and I don't bother wanting to go back to it. Both Shark and Kite were having a duel between each other, and they were about to go down life points. Then all of a sudden, somebody summons two monsters from out of nowhere, suspends them, and tells them that they are now pawns in a part of a duel now. So now he's going to, like, destroy them or something. But he never really gives an explanation of how he does it. Like, what kind of magical power or anything. He doesn't really explain it.
I think, like, the whole monthly thing is that, like, I think it skips chapters, probably. I know I could be wrong about that.
Well, all I know is that they don't really explain. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Explained everything. Like, it explained how Kaido was able to do all these things beforehand. Like how he was able to transfer a shadow. It's actually a hologram. Oh, how are you able to do that? I took over Kaiba Corp. Okay, you explained that. It's totally out there, but at least you explained it.
Wait. Kaito?
Kaido. He was
Kaido.
he was the main protagonist in the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga series,
Mhm.
and he had a bunch of weird powers, and he went kind of Merrick sometimes, where he had like a
was
weird
he like
face.
was he the son of Pegasus or something?
No, he was like his he was like his like lieutenant or something, or
Okay.
his like. He was basically like a student to Pegasus.
Right, and he was,
So they were both
and
extremely
he was out
flamboyant
and he was out for revenge.
against Yugi. And he came up with this convoluted plan that I gotta use the 3 dark gods and use a human vessel in order to bring back my master.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta complete this within this certain amount of time, have the 3 gods at my disposal. Other than that, really just the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series in general needs a little bit more of explanation.
But yeah, I didn't really get much into reading this because I really don't know why, because I just suddenly lost interest in it.
Well, other than that,
And what the fuck is with this guy's hair?
yeah, that makes Yugi's hair look subtle. But really, if we were to give a small synopsis, the Reaper card is too strong, and Yuma has to summon naked energy from Kite and Shark to actually win the duel and summon a new Utopia monster, which this card in particular has
Okay.
gone through several transformations.
Okay, Utopia 1, okay. Shining number 39. Okay, this, you know what he looks like?
Yeah, doesn't he look like Elemental Hero Shining?
Yeah. He's called Elemental Hero The Shining.
The Shining.
I'm like, really? You're taking Jaden's card?
It's
But
made by the
but
same
we do
people.
but we do admit he does look cool.
And really, I don't care. I'm more. I like the dragon designs more than anything else.
Right.
Anyways, Jaden wins the duel and gets a new Exceed monster. Yuma wins the duel and
Gets a new monster, and I guess we move on to the next thing. So now
move on to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Sucks.
Yeah.
Now we
so
move on to the series that doesn't suck.
Dragon Ball Z.
And God damn it, Nappa. This is the chapter where they're actually trying to start putting up a fight against Nappa, but
He hit me. He hit me too.
I gotta say this, that when I thought about it when I first saw the series, I didn't think Nappa was gonna be all that strong. I thought he was just gonna be like the Bruiser or something, and that Vegeta was
Just a bumbling idiot who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, and he's just disregards everything. But during like the battle, he does in fact show that he's a veteran fighter and knows how to evade blasts, and he's unaffected because he's so strong. Even Tien uses all of his strength to release the Kai Cannon, and it doesn't do jack.
Yeah.
It just breaks pieces of Nappa's armor, and that's about it. And
that's it for this Shonen Jump manga. Which one you want to do first? This one or Fairy Tail?
We'll save this one for later because I haven't even read this.
Okay.
You're killing me.
Maybe we'll save this for another review.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. The next one is on the 2 Fairy Tail chapters. Now, we finally get to find out what actually is going on with the village per se, and we actually thought it was like something having to do with the village turning Urza into a little child.
But it turns out that the person who was with
Minerva. Nirvana is the canon that the Orcheons...
Fine.
Or, sorry, Orcheon Sace?
Archeon Sace.
Sace, whatever.
But like the person who was with her is the one who has that magic to turn adults into children. Now, to me, this is depending on how it actually works. Because we had a dragon that just takes people's clothes off. Now we have this guy who just turns them into children, but doesn't affect their magic at all. It doesn't seem all that threatening.
Yeah, but, I mean, the fact is that, well, like biologically saying that magic doesn't always amplify your combat abilities. When you're a kid, you don't have combat abilities, exception for Wendy.
Right, but the thing is, when you're a kid, you are actually a lot faster than the adults. So
Doesn't matter when the fully grown adult uses powerful magic still. So I don't think that matters at all.
Right.
But, we don't really find a whole lot about this incomplete. We only find out that after a interesting chase with the Sylph Labyrinth hunters, that we end up losing the moon drip after a game of like hot potato with the moon.
Happy.
Happy misses it, and it falls onto the ice, and only so much actually melts part of it away. Not even enough.
And Nasu started to hear some voices.
Yeah, under the ground. So there's still something about that. However, before they get to work on discovering anything, the Dark Guild guy comes over and turns Natsu into a kid.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And really, that's most of the chapter. But we also got
there's also the special.
We got a funny ass bonus chapter.
Okay, so Fairy Tail A and Fairy Tail B had to decide who is actually the strongest, and how do they decide it?
I'm not playing with you. I'll always win.
And Urza loses, and so so Fairy Tail B
gets to tell Fairy Tail A
what to do.
Luxus chooses Elfman and Natsu. He makes them his professional gophers. Which is
give me some bread and milk.
Yeah, that doesn't seem all that shocking. Luxus is an asshole. But then it comes down to Juvia, who obviously takes Gray.
The things she does. You have to see it for yourself, but
certain things we can't explain without going off the deep end.
If you actually saw it, you'll be like, how did they get away with this?
No. Just no.
And Mira
Jane is
I think she has a
sadist.
fetish. She has a certain fetish where she makes Urza
dress up as a maid, but of course it doesn't affect her because Urza just likes dressing up as things.
But what she makes her also do is go bondage.
Yep, she pretty much restrains her.
I think Mira's a lesbian.
Wouldn't surprise me, but as far as this whole thing goes with Mira Jane, she just wants Urza to become embarrassed because this is the girl who is always so stalwart, so focused, and now all of a sudden she's put into the maid outfit, and then she says, well, that's not going to work. You need to sound embarrassed. Ha, that won't work. And it works because we get
to see Mira Jane spank the hell out of Urza.
Yep, that's embarrassing, all right.
But the thing is that it does make sense because you remember in their past they were rivals.
Yeah, but then Mira Jane adopted the whole big sister motif.
When their sister died, that's when she totally changed her attitude.
Yeah, but I think Gagiels is the most hilarious out of all of them.
Okay, he's doing his jazz singing thing.
Failing jazz thing that he did beforehand.
But
when he
here's what he also does. He makes Levy and Lucy wear bunny girl suits.
And we don't even know how Levy got into it. He chose Lucy to be a part of it because that was a part of the deal at the very beginning of the tournament. If you win...
I thought Levy was part of B, or was she involved in the tournament at all?
No, she was not. She is not battle capable. Anyway, but the fact is that
and then Levy...
during it, Levy notices that Lucy's tits are huge and continuously bounce, and then gets self-conscious about it, and then runs off
crying.
stage.
It runs off crying.
And then that's done, and so Gagiel is done. So he actually hands Lucy over to somebody and points
to Mira.
Mira, who's in a throne, and with Urza once again tied up, and no. Oh my god!
And Panther Lily.
Panther Lily,
I don't think his was as cruel.
Well, no. The fact was that it was supposed to be funny that Happy and Sherry.
Carla. I'm gonna call her Carla because
whatever. Well, then Carla. Both were not actually a part of the tournament, but their owners were, and the Exceed are nonetheless eternal teammates of their partners.
So what he makes them do is that
he simply sits on a bench while they hold it up while flying.
Apparently, he's the one who can't fly, right?
He can kind of fly, but he only. Well, no, he can fly.
Well, his wings are very small, so he can't pick him up.
Well, no, he can. He just wants the benefit of not having to fly. You know,
right.
like I'm awesome.
And so, and here's one and one pair does something very different.
Yeah, Wendy gets sent to the only remaining B member, which was Kana.
And basically what she makes her do is they just do big sister and little sister things.
Yeah, but at the first point, it looks like she's about to whore her out by making her dress up all these sort of clothes,
all these fetishes,
and then says that I'll be bringing to you
this old man. And you were setting me up for this. Like, the minute I see a church, I'm like, fuck no!
I loved it. I loved seeing that. Oh my, he's going. I was thinking that if you actually read this, you were probably going to text me and said, I'm done. I'm just done with Fairy Tail because it's a huge shout out. It's not even subtle.
Now, I'm not even Catholic, but even I was like, no, they're not doing this.
Yeah, but a priest wants to have relations with a little girl, but no, it's
but it actually turns out that it was actually about
visiting orphans at the orphanage where, in fact, this priest was.
And let the orphans actually meet one of the Fairy Tail members who won the tournament. Pretty much like if a professional baseball or basketball player went to an orphanage, to go see orphans.
Kind of like the Make-A-Wish thing.
Yeah.
But there's more history to that. It turns out that while Kana was traveling to the guild,
she was basically an orphan from the beginning.
Yeah, so she was actually there beforehand, and afterwards it's actually now where that big sister, little sister thing's coming up as she tells Wendy that because that she's a kid still, that she needs to start working on her image because now that she's a full-fledged member of Fairy Tail and a champion wizard, you have an image to keep. It's now your job to show who you really are in the world. So you gotta show off who you are. And I guess that's the metaphor in, choosing your fashion sense and acting appropriately in front of people. She could have left at any point. Really just forced herself to leave because I don't think she would have stayed for what was implied what was going to happen.
Yeah.
She would just fly away with her wind dragon slaying powers.
But that was actually a nice part of the chapter. And then I guess the whole day goes by and now things are going to be reversed. Where
now Team A gets to tell Team B what to do.
It is hilarious with Urza.
Yeah, she gets revenge once again by spanking Mary Jane.
And
Lucy's still tied up in chains for some reason. And
we don't even know what Natsu and Elfman tell
Luxus
what to do.
Well, yeah, probably will.
Probably do the same thing. You let him be the gopher.
Yeah. Aside from that, I really like the chapters because at least we got a little bit more of the mystery told about, who was responsible for turning Ursa into a kid and now Natsu's a kid. And then we get this bonus chapter, which is funny as all hell.
Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just a funny filler chapter.
All right, well, so that was it for this week's Weekly Shonen Jump review. This has been Fonzie,
And this is Hero.
and we're signing off.